Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. Starting from the field today is a 26.76. Looks like we're starting this race in 6th position. A little change of scenery. We're in Watkins Glen today. I've been racing a whole lot of Spa lately. So we are still in 6th. 7th. Oh, we're gonna lock it up in the chicane. Coming back slow on the track. I did not want to come back on and hit somebody. We also probably have the slowdown penalty. Somebody with a very similar paint scheme. We are the number 25. That might be an identical paint scheme there. Well, the strength of the field today is a 26.76. Our rating is a 13.15 coming into this race. It's a 35-minute race. We are going to need to stop for fuel. Bit of smoke up ahead. Car's moving slow. Looks like maybe a hypercar up there. Car behind has pulled into the pits. That's the car with the similar paint scheme. We're still out in 8th position in our class. This is a 35-minute race. We will need to stop for fuel once. It's a license requirement for entry. This is fixed series. Going through the chicanes properly that time. Chasing down the car in front. Fixed series means we don't get to really make many changes to our car. We can change our tires if it's raining. And usually, one more thing I forget. I don't normally change anything. Everything's all default set up for me. Starting to chase down this blue LMP2 car in front of us. We had really struggled with Watkins Glen early on. Didn't have a very good start to this race though. Hopefully we aren't going to struggle that much here. I don't think we will. Start to get better here and then really get through a lot of the low level rated races for this series. The gap to the car in front, just a few tenths of a second now. Really closing it up on them. We have a run on them through the chicane, all over their bumper now. Looks like we may have had to slow it up just a little bit. Shouldn't be long before we can get this position back, hopefully. This is a rather tough track. There's many points where you gotta be really careful about what you do. Because you'll see a lot of people make mistakes here and there. Especially in an area like this. Well, it's looking like we're keeping the gap just a little bit to the car in front. We know we're a lot faster in the inner loop. This is Watkins Glen boot setup. We might have a run on them before then. Almost going side by side. We're going to be close. I think we're going to make this move. We pulled it off. Car behind lost control. Has gone sideways. We made a good move there on the inside. Up to 7th in our class now. We should be able to focus on the car in front because the car behind had an issue. The gap is now increasing. Can't even see them on track anymore. But I do see that red, white, and blue LMP2 car in front of me. We're going to start to close the gap to them, I think. Feel like I did get pretty fast and consistent here. After having to deal with so much craziness with some of the earlier Watkins Glen races. You can see the side panel has updated us to 7th place in our class. This is multi-class racing. We don't see anybody else yet. But there is a hypercar class and a GT3 class alongside our LMP2 class. We're kind of the middle class here. Hypercars are going to be way faster than us. Not way faster, but a bit faster. Almost all the straightaways they'll be able to pull away from us. And the GT3 cars will be a decent amount slower than us, several seconds a lap, I believe. We may or may not even see hypercars unless if pit strategies cross. We'll have to see near the end of the race. It will start to fill out. Going a little wide out of the exit of that corner. Lost a tiny bit of time probably. But we're still closing in on the cars in front, I think. Not letting them get away from us at all. You can see bouncing off the curves is some of the toughest parts of the track there too. You really need to carry a lot of speed through those and take some curbs in order to cut off as much of the track as possible to get as fast as you can through there. Kicking up a little bit of dirt. Probably a few second gap to the car in front of us, but we are closing, and it looks like they're possibly closing to the car in front of them. It looks like we're getting some decent laps in right now. Pretty clean track in front and behind. Not too many issues that we've seen so far. But somebody's eventually going to catch some traffic, and that usually leads to problems. Getting a little out in the dirt there. Not really the best line. Probably just a little over 2-second gap to that car in front. They are catching... Oh, that is the car that pulled into the pits that's behind us. And looks like they're back out on track. The car with the same paint scheme, the number 24. We are the number 25. Looks like we're starting to catch that person. Hypercars showing up in the background a bit. They're quite a bit behind still. We won't see them soon. Looks like we are closing that gap to the car in front. It's just slowly happening. It's going to take us several laps to do it. I think we have some decent pace here. Just over 12 minutes into the race now. You can see us taking those curbs like I was talking about earlier. I think pit window is opening, if it isn't open already now. Less than a 2-second gap to that red, white, and blue LMP2 car in front of us. It is coming down, and we are catching the other number 24 with a similar paint scheme, but they are a lap down, if not more. We saw them come into the pits after us on lap 1. Those hypercars were just coming out of that outer loop, or somewhat... Some people call it the corkscrew, I think. It's not quite a corkscrew. It's not like Laguna Seca. A little over 1 second gap now to that car in front. We are catching them slowly. It looks like we're up to 6th place in class. Cars are probably starting to make their pit stops now. Not sure if we're starting to catch that GT3 field or not. That could be. Looks like a little more traffic up ahead. Some GT3 cars. That's probably why we saw a car coming in. Might be a good time to call it ourselves. We'll see if we pull in this lap or not. Do you see an opportunity for us to close the gap to the car in front of us, though? This is going to slow us down just slightly. It's tough to make sure to get that exit when you're on the inside. You can see that lapped car in front slowing down the other LMP2 car. That's going to get us a little bit closer. Let's see if we decide to pull into the pits this time or not. Pretty big group of cars really holding them up in front of us. They're going side by side in this corner here. We are going to stay out. Much slower lap time that time around because of the traffic. Not getting the best exit out of turn 1 there because of the GT3 cars on the inside. Looking just to avoid contact. Looks like we may have lost a little bit of time to the car in front now. Really taking some of those curbs. I think when I first was racing this in practice, I was so afraid to hit those curbs. Because if you don't hit them right, they really throw you quick. So lap times were really hurting just because of that area. I figured out the formula now, though. Sixth in class. We did start in sixth. We haven't taken our pit stop yet. Starting to catch the GT3 field a little bit more. Looks like hypercars might be starting to come up behind us. A lot of traffic already for only a little over 16 minutes into the race. We're going to be flashing our lights at the GT3 car, hoping to get to the inside and get an okay exit. Looks like that will work for us. They're battling at least. Looks like we're starting to close in on that LMP2 car in front of us again. You can see him just ahead. Probably still just a couple seconds gap. Catching another GT3 car, so are they. We'll have to both be worrying about GT3s into this next corner. Looks like we didn't quite catch our car. Gonna get out to the racing line on them though, hopefully. They're gonna force us to go too wide for a second. See if we decide to come into the pits now or not. Doesn't look like it yet. No, coming out full speed. Flashing our lights, the GT3 car's just ahead, letting them know we're catching. And are going to be getting by soon. Running 137 is not very fast for right now. To go to the other side of this Porsche. A difficult area to make those passes. Those cars are going to be battling and going offline too. I think we're still within 2 seconds to the car in front. Hopefully closing that gap, we might be getting through the traffic a little bit better, although it doesn't look like it. Not the best times to be hitting traffic, but got some decent runs in there as well. We might be mostly through the GT3 field, maybe just taking it all the way till we need fuel. If we do that, we might not have to go through a lot of GT3 cars coming out of the pits. It'll be mostly hypercars we worry about passing us later if that starts to happen. Looks like a nice clear track in front of us at the moment. Still trying to close the gap to the car in front, about 2 seconds. 6th place in our class. We did start 6th. I think somebody took their pit stop early and everybody else has stayed out in front of us so far. Still don't really see the hypercars behind us. Those are GT3s coming around the corner. A little over 20 minutes in the race, about 15 remain. How many laps we do will depend on where the leader is when time expires. Counting less than a 2-second gap to the car in front now. We've somehow closed it up on them. Perhaps they made a mistake. You can see him much more clearly on the screen now for a lot longer. Oh, and we see that, and we're gonna go extra hard, trying to catch them now. I want to chase and run them down as fast as possible. Their position is under threat. That is 5th in front of us with the red, white, and blue LMP2 car. Not much traffic lately. GT3 cars, we must be clear of them for right now. Wasn't too large of a field, but we did have to deal with a couple of them battling side by side. Taking that curb a little extra hard, maybe. We can see the car in front now within a second. They're kicking up a little bit of the dirt. Well, within a second now to the car in front. We might be needing to pit soon, though. It's been a pretty clean run so far. Only had that one mistake on lap 1 where we late braked. Oh, here we go. We're going to pull into the pits now. Pulling in near this other car. Following this red, white, and blue in front of us into the pits. We're going to stop right in front of them. They got jacked up. Are they getting tires replaced? We might come out in front. They've come down now. Oh my, we're gonna come out nearly at the same time. It looks like they're getting out just in front of us. We're gonna be right on their tail as we exiting pit lane now. Still said 6th in our class when we came in. Hypercars starting to catch. You can see this blue Cadillac there. A couple GT3 cars just in front. How they got out. Well, we're still within a second of the car in front of us. This red, white, and blue LMP2. That is 2nd place in the blue Cadillac, passing us there. We're going to make it through just in front of that GT3 car as we hit the inner loop. A little over 10 minutes remain in the race. The car in front is going to go a little wide. The gap has come down even more now. Looks like we're 7th in class at the moment. Chasing down 6th in front of us here. GT3 cars are pulling in, finally. Seeing the hypercars as well, I think. within a second to the car in front now. It was really close on exit. We were running them down earlier, so I'm just gonna look to try and close that gap again and see if we can't challenge for 6th position. Started the race in 6th. Made a mistake on lap 1 and late braked here into the inner loop. Had to go off track. We probably could have taken that a little bit faster, but then taken our slowdown penalty after coming back onto the track. Just saying, we should have cheated there a little bit more, maybe. We could have been a little closer to this car in front of us now, really challenging them for 6th. At the moment, we're just trying to close about a second gap. Yellow Cadillac I can see behind us. Not going to take them too long to catch, although they may need to make their pit stops as well. We'll see if they come into the pits here or not, maybe. Different camera angle this time, okay. Okay, so looks like the GT3 car pulled in, but the yellow Cadillac stayed out. They're still going to be running us down, especially in this straight up here. Looks like we've closed up the gap just a little bit this lap. Gained a few tenths on the car in front now. Well within that second. We can see this yellow Cadillac catching us now. Trying to pull out of the way. Going extra wide here for them. Maybe that was our own fault. That gave them a good opportunity to get by. Hopefully they slow up the car in front of us just a little bit more again. We can close that gap back down to where it was, about a half a second, I think. Although right here, I don't know. We'll see. What kind of exit we have. Looks like they went a little wide. Oh yeah. Close that gap back down with the hypercar passing them. Slowed us down about equally. We're looking at about a half-second gap to the car in front. Just a few minutes remain in the race. And still less than a second gap there. Maybe we lost a little bit of time somewhere back there. Or they just picked up the pace somewhere. Seems like they can do that every now and then. This track is very heavily working on the front left tire. So we may have different tire temps. It looks like we kind of closed the gap late in the lap. Going a little wide there. Probably took a 1x penalty for that. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the race. 7th in our class. Not a whole lot of traffic that I can see behind us. Trying to run down this LMP2 car in 6th in front. Still within a second. gonna be close. If we can close a few tenths each lap, we'll be right on their tail on the last lap. And I think we have a little bit of pace on them somewhere sometimes. Whoa, slow hypercar on the outside. You can see that Porsche doesn't have its front end anymore. They're just going to limp that back into the pits. Maybe a little over half-second gap to the car in front. Not sure if that was because of the hypercar or not. Still trying to close the gap down to 6th place in front of us here, this red, white, and blue car. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Looks like we're starting to see some GT3 traffic up ahead. That could work in our favor. We'll have to see. Ooh, going extra wide that time. That's another 1X. I think we'll take it though if we can't close the gap on this car in front. Gain another position, just a little bit of safety rating is okay. Acura hypercar showing up behind. Looks like maybe they're going to start to catch us. I'm not sure if our LMP2 car in front is going to get held up by that or not. Doesn't look like it. We're going to flash our lights, try to make the move to the inside here, I think. A bit of extra curb on the first one, but we should be okay on the exit. May have lost a little bit of time. Oh, that car just keeps getting lucky with the traffic, I think. Time is ticking. It is running out. We're flashing our lights, trying to... I don't know, maybe get them to slip up a little bit. I know they know we're here. I'm just hoping they slip up a little bit somewhere here. Blue Acura hypercar starting to catch us now. We could see more GT3 traffic on the last couple laps here. If this is the leader behind us, we've got a couple minutes remaining. Probably 2 or 3 laps total. Maybe the car in front is held up slightly by that GT3, although it looks like we might hit and catch in the wrong place. I don't know. We are flashing our lights early. We know we're trying to run down this car in front, doing the inner loop, bouncing off the curves heavy again. Just trying not to really lose much time to that car in front. We keep catching those GT3 cars right at that inner loop. The double chicane. It's such a tough spot, because they have to go so slow. Oh no, we took it extra wide for them. We shouldn't have given that up. Well, just trying to avoid any issues and not disturb the leaders, which I'm pretty sure that is. That is us getting lapped. Barely. Probably just 1 lap to go now. Time is near expiring. Just a little over a second to the car in front of us now. We lost a little bit of time, giving that hypercar that room. Not sure, but I did see an LMP2 car behind us. That's probably the other car that's a lap down or so. We are 7th in our class. I think this is the last lap here. That's the leader in front of us. Time's about to expire. The leader did go through the inner loop. Just straight on through. Porsche hypercar smashed way up back there. We catching back up to this Acura hypercar now. Oh, they had to take their slowdown penalty because they went straight through on the inner loop. But this is the last lap. They should be possibly slowing up the car in front of us. We might have an opportunity. GT3 car's in the way. Acura hypercar isn't getting up there though. I'm not sure why. We've caught back up to the leader here. Flashing our lights. We've got a car to catch up there in 6th place. I'm not sure it's gonna happen. Did they let the hypercar by? I'm not sure. Looks like that is the end of the race though. Alright, we started this race in P6. We finished in P7 in our class. Our rating went from a 1315. We lost 21 points down to a 1294. Just barely in that 1.2k. That 1200 range. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching everybody. See you next time.